Hello everyone and welcome to today's tutorial. In this session, we will dive into the fundamentals of functionality testing, performance testing, and security testing. I will provide a high-level overview along with the practical demonstration. Let's start with the functionality testing. So what exactly functionality testing? Functionality testing is a crucial method performed by software development teams to ensure that a specific module operates without bugs before it is deployed to the production server. For example, focus on key functionalities such as the login feature to validate successful and unsuccessful logging attempts. We all familiar with application with the logging functionalities. If you are using Facebook, Amazon, any application you go, the common functionalities you are interact with the login or registration. So on the left side, as you see, the valid user. So what is valid user? So the valid user means the existing user who has username and password set up. So if the valid user entered the user name and the password, then click login, he is supposed to log in successfully and he should land it to the my account page. On the other hand, if the person who doesn't have any existing account or he forget his password, if he provide the invalid username or invalid password, then try to log in, the system will detect that, hey, you are not authorized to access this application. So right now, as you see, I just give you the example of the login functionality, but every single application has so many different functionalities. So each functionality is working independently and interact with the whole application. So you can think about the login functionality, registration functionality, all this functionality should working as expected. So that the test on this, and that is one of the testing that development team has to perform after the code is deployed to the QA environment, UAT environment, and they have to test thoroughly, make sure there is no bug. So now what tools we can use to perform the functionality testing? So in functionality testing, we can have manual testing and the automation testing. On the manual testing side, we can write the test cases, using the TestRail and TestLink, and also we can use Jira for bug tracking, and also we can use the Excel sheet or Microsoft Excel, Google Sheet, etc. On the other hand, for the automation testing tools, we can use Selenium for web application testing and the Appian for mobile application testing. So now I'm going to show you how I can automate the web application using Selenium with Java. So this is the application that I'm going to automate today. So goal is to that application will be opened automatically. Then it will enter the username, like let's say user1@gmail.com, and then password is same thing. Now if I log in, I should land it to the my account dashboard. So this is the part I just did. It is the manual step. Now I'm going to do similar step using the automation tool, and I am using Selenium with Java. So this is the basic kind of fundamental the code that I wrote here, and it will perform exactly the similar step that I just performed manually. Okay, so let me run this on. So now browser is open. As you see, browser is open. Now is entered the username, password. It was very quick. Now is login, and you see is automatically entered the username, password, click login, and landed to the my account page. So this is how we perform the functionality testing using Selenium with Java or Python or C#. So many languages you can use for that. scenario I already execute. So next is performance testing. What is performance testing? So performance testing is checking how fast and smooth your software works. So every application has some kind of slowness, right? So as there will be another kind of tester who will test the performance testing. When I say the performance, that if one user logging to the server or application, then server has to respond. And this response we can measure how long it takes, right? So if one user login, the server will behave little different compared to if the 1 million user logging at the same time. So why performance testing is important? It ensures your application runs well even with the lots of users. So if one user log in to the server, it will be different behavior if 10 user logging to the server, and server will respond with the different time, right? So, and the tools to perform the performance testing, which is load testing, we can use JMeter, Gatling, and LoadRunner. So JMeter is the free to use, and Gatling Runner is subscription based. So yeah, company has to pay for it. So it's the most popular one is Apache JMeter. So we are going to use today's JMeter, and this is the scenario. So the performance testing scenario, logging load testing. 10 users need to log into the applications simultaneously, and we expect the server to respond within 3 seconds. So as you see, more than 10 people, they send the request on the login screen. That means they try to enter the username and password and click login. So that means they're sending the request to the server, and the server should respond all those 10 requests with the 3 seconds. So that is the load testing that we are going to do. And scenario steps, I provide the initialize the test environment, define test parameter, execute load test, and the expected result is all 10 users should be successfully logging into the system within the designated time frame of 3 seconds. So I already had set up everything. So let me pull the JMeter. So this is for logging test, right? So here, as you see, I have a 10 user. I set up the 10 user, and this is the protocol I'm using, a HTTP and server IP. So I'm going to run on my local, which is localhost, and port number is 8888. And the request type is post, and this is the path. And now if I go to the duration assertion, so I provide the 6,000 millisecond, which is 6 seconds. And this is the report I can get. So let me run. So let me see how many user I have. I have a 10 user, and duration assertion, I have a 6 seconds. So that means 10 user should logging or send the request same time to the application server, and application server should send a response within 6 seconds. Okay, so let me run. So looks like is pass. So 10 request has been sent, and server responds within 6 seconds. What about if I, in our scenario, say 3 seconds? So 3 seconds, let's see if it is working. You see, right now is failing, is 3 seconds is not working. So let me see what the error say. So error said the operation is lasted too long it took more than 3 seconds. So 3 seconds, 760 milliseconds, which is more almost 4 seconds, but it should not last it longer than 3 seconds. So this is not good. So we can take this screen capture and give to the developer and they can look into it. So now if we want to pass this load test, we can try with the 4 second. Okay, let me go to the duration assertion, and instead of 3 seconds, let me see how many requests, how many response we get with 4 second. You see, you get only one. And now if I expand this, it took more than 4 seconds. So now if I take 5 seconds again, increase the duration is 5 seconds. Yeah, looks like within 5 seconds is working, no issue. So on more time, I'm going to repeat. So is the 10 user, they try to log in the system same time, then server will respond. Server will respond within 5 seconds. Okay, so that is the the load testing that we can do on the web application. Now we also can do the load testing on the database also. So this is my database. So let me pull the database here, MySQL database. So this is the database, and the query I have here, it will filter out the price for the iPhone, right? So this is the e-commerce website, and I want to see the price for the iPhone, right? So is the $18. So this is the query that I want to use in my load testing in the JMeter. So let me pull the JMeter. Let me minimize this. So this is the JMeter is already set up. So as you see right now, I use the JDBC connector, and this is the URL. This is my local website, and I already configure everything. So I have a let's put the scenario is 10 user, and duration should be 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Okay. So and let me show you the query. So this is the query, exactly the same query I have it here. Right, I just copy paste the query. So I like 10 users should be sending requests to the database and database server, and server should respond within 3 seconds. So let me run it. Yep, you see the database response is very quick because it's directly connect to the database. Okay, so now it will pass on the database. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to increase the user. So instead of 10, I'm going to increase to 100 to see if it is still pass or not. So I am sending 100 user is good, no issue. So I'm going to instead of 3 seconds, let's see 300 milliseconds, which is less than 1 second. Okay, so let's see how it behave now. Yeah, it is also is okay. So what about the 30 milliseconds? Yeah, 30 millisecond is fail. Let me see how long it took. It took 36 milliseconds to respond 30 user. So that we know the 36 millisecond, right? So like, let's say if we want to pass here is 40 millisecond. Now it should send all the 30 response. Yeah, some of them is fail. Let me see how much it took. Some of them took 46 millisecond. So let me increase the duration to 50 milliseconds. Yep, all the 100 users, sorry, 100 user send the request to the server, and server respond with the within 50 milliseconds, not even 1 second. Okay, so this is the database is always will be little faster than the web application. And this performance testing you can measure with the different combination. I just give you the today we just learned the high level, like how you can do the performance testing. Okay, so that's all for the performance testing. So now let's move to the security testing. Okay, so now what is security testing? Security testing is ensure that there are no vulnerabilities in the application and its database. It focuses on identifying weakness that could be exploited by the unauthorized person. On the left side, as you see, we have a database. All the application will have database connected, web application with the database, because all the information, user information will be saved in the database. So if the database is secure 100%, as you see on the right side, the hacker will not be able to access the database. He will not able to steal any information from the user. On the other hand, if the database is not secure, you see is unlocked, right? It is not secure. So hacker can use the different tool and can get into the database, and then they can steal the user information, credit card information, social security, all those things they can access. Okay, so now the tools that we can use to perform the ethical hacking or penetration testing, we can use the Kali Linux, WASP-JAP, Burp-Suite, Metasploit, and Nessus. Okay, so today we are going to use Kali Linux and Metasploitable. So the today's scenario for security testing is a scan a target IP for Metasploitable server and retrieve the Tomcat credential. So as you see the Tomcat on the right side, it has a IP address, and we can open that in the browser. But the problem here is this Tomcat server has a vulnerabilities. So we will expose that vulnerabilities, which is administrator credential. That means we can expose or we can exploit the username and password for the admin. And after that, we can use that and log into the Tomcat application. Okay, so let's get started with that. So this is the Kali Linux. So let me log in. So default is Kali. Username is Kali, password is Kali. I put the wrong. So Kali. And on the right side is the Metasploitable, where we have the Tomcat application. Okay, so first I'm going to use one of the scanning or one of the script that will scan the IP address for the Metasploitable server. So this is the command that I use. So sudo nmap ---- script authentication, then the IP address of the Metasploitable server. So this is on my right is the Metasploitable, and you see I type ifconfig and it gave me the IP address, which is 192.168.43.142. So I just have to run this script, and it will scan all the open port for the Metasploitable. So now if I scroll down a little bit, you see all these open port like 21, 22, 23, 80. Now, if you scroll down all the way, and you will see the port 8180, which is HTTP port. And if you scroll down a little bit more, I mean here, it give you the Tomcat right? It is stored this way, this port number using the application for Tomcat. Now, if you go down, this is the credential summary, and they give you the URL 192.168.43.142, and then this is the port number 8 on 80, and Tomcat, and this is the valid credential. So if I go to this URL, so I have to open another terminal. Okay, so I have to open another terminal, and I'm going to type Firefox. So Firefox, okay, so this is the Firefox, and let me paste the URL here. You see, I am able to go to the Tomcat server. So now you see on the left side, they have a administration. Under the administration, I have a Tomcat administration link. And now if I type Tomcat and Tomcat for password and click login, and I am able to log in as a administrator. Now I can do whatever I like. I can add user. You see, I can create a user. I can delete user. You see how dangerous it is to if any application has a vulnerabilities. Okay, so this is how we perform the security testing using different security tools that I show you earlier. I hope this tutorial was helpful, and if you find it was helpful, please subscribe and like. Thank you.